Okay, versatile vigilante, man. Young Vince with a special guest today, the homie Mario.
What up, what up?
Cheers, my guy. Respects for coming through. So, yo, for anyone watching today, Mario's been my homie in, like 2008, 2009, some shit like that. Went to high school together and shit. Always kept in touch. Always down to come do a podcast. Finally made this shit happen. So, yo, thank you for coming. Really appreciate that shit.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course,
It's
bro.
been like 2 years in the making.
Literally.
This day.
Literally, bro. We were talking before, like, it's dope to be doing this finally, you know?
So,
One thing I want to say to this guy, very hardworking guy. You run into people from high school, your youth and shit, you see some people like, holy fuck, what are they up to? This guy, whenever I see Mario, he's always up to some good shit. Like, hustling, working, putting in that effort, doing his thing, bro. So, yo, explain, talk about what you're working on now. What's your business doing? What's your business dealing with?
right now, just working on contracts all over Ontario. Just doing flooring contracts, like major commercial projects. Doing like Union Station downtown. Here later, Head Distribution Center, Metro Head Distribution Center, condos, senior homes in Hamilton and Whitby.
Okay.
Everywhere.
So you're in like that contracting life.
Yeah. Just trying to land contracts, do good work, keep it going, get as many guys as we can going, and just take over new blood.
Toronto shit, young Toronto.
Yeah,
bro.
all the older guys like think they got it, but the new
That's
guys
what I'm
coming
saying,
in.
bro. This is the young time,
Because they're all talking shit. They're like, oh, the young guys don't have the drive anymore. That hard work. Fuck them. They'll put them to.
Facts, you're showing them, bro. You're putting it to the test.
Yeah, the new generation just as good. We're living the best time ever. I feel like.
I think so, man.
Like a lot of places I go to, like the old heads, they're like, oh, all the new people. Oh, it's not like what it was back then. It was so much better. Oh, they're never gonna be the way they do things nowadays. Like, what are you talking about? We do things way faster nowadays. The technology we have, we're just killing them. The way we build stuff is way better. Did you see better buildings 20 years ago or 20 years now?
Facts. Technology keeps getting better.
They're just haters.
Yeah. Yo, I like that you say that.
Like, actually, like, I see the way the guys do things. Like, there's some, like, older guys, and they still do, like, the drawings and stuff off, like, paper. But now we do it on the computer. I can whip up my laptop. 5 minutes. What could take them all day waiting to print drawings, waiting to do things. We're in like the fastest time ever to pick up stuff to do things. We could do multiple things at once.
Facts.
It's like crazy right now.
I like that you say that because I hear a lot like the opposite. Like we're in the shitty times, like this and that. I like when it's that opposite mindset. Like no, we actually are coming to hold it down. Exactly, bro. Sometimes I get kind of overwhelmed with the amount. Like, bro, some shit is like, holy, this is like create like COVID, for example, like all this shit happening all at once. But I also agree with you, like, there's so many different things you can do at one time. You can make a lot of things happen, you know?
Yeah, you can do so many things at one time, like on your phone. You can work off your phone.
Facts.
We can work anywhere now.
You don't even really need a computer no more.
You don't need an office. You can work remote.
It's crazy.
You can go around, like, it's like endless right now. So, and how fast we can do things, like, the other day I was just hearing from like Tiff's sister. She was like, yeah, she's working a full-time job at the government right now and still doing school.
Right.
And I was like, just taking it in. I didn't take it in. I was just talking to her. And she was like, yeah, I just finished my exam. And I'm like, aren't you working right now? And she's like, yeah, I'm working full-time. Like she's remote.
Got the time, yeah.
And doing school.
That's hectic.
When could you do that?
No.
When could you do that?
That would have been way too much.
If anybody told you can't do it, you gotta choose one.
Just from the commuting alone. Yeah. That's facts. But yo, you gotta be careful with that too. Cause we can do a lot all at once, but it's easy to burn out too. You know what I mean? I felt that myself where it's like, bro, I'm putting in a lot of work, but this shit adds up though.
Yeah.
Like you gotta pace yourself, you know?
But the harder you push yourself, then after, like a year from then, it's like, oh, that wasn't that hard.
That's how you get stronger.
Yeah.
It's
like,
true.
The first time I'm gonna melt down, I'm gonna break down, and then it's like
you just keep going.
And you get back.
It's that strengthening training, man. It's the more you do, the more you fucking try, the better you get. I think.
It's not just about the money; it's about the thrill too. doing like big things. Like I want to do big things.
It is. Have you heard about this shit called NFTs?
I heard it. I haven't dived into it yet. My brother talks about it. I seen it Instagram. Like this guy does an NFT, makes $100 million.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either. Like same as you. Like I've been hearing about it, but I was listening to this guy. He's like, bro, whether you believe in NFTs or not, I just think it's cool. So I'm gonna fuck with it. Yeah. He's like, if you don't like it or don't understand, that's fine. But I think it's cool, and I rate that type of thinking. Like, yo, I think it's interesting, or I want to try it. Fucking try it.
Or you know, like Jack Dorsey from the owner of
the Twitter guy.
No, he like runs Square. That Square app. Like
yeah.
He's like heavy into it, but I haven't looked into it too hard yet.
No, and I don't think I will, but I just like what he was saying about it. Like,
but see, that's the thing too. Like, if we're looking at it now, it could be like
it could
crypto.
Be. It
like,
could be.
It's like, I don't want a thing, but they're like jumping on that thing now. But I don't get it. You make like a. You make a sticker of yourself, or you make a sticker of your company, and then people buy it. So it's like that picture. Like that's worth $100 grand.
A picture of that, though.
But that's digital, and somebody will pay $100 grand to own the rights of that digital.
They also said too, like there's only a few of those types of things where it's gonna be worth a lot.
That's what I'm
saying.
Most
of it's worth nothing.
Like it has to be like really like
one of one.
But I don't know, because wouldn't you rather pay the $100 grand and actually get the picture thing?
100%. What he was saying, he was like, bro, what this guy was saying, he's like, what I think is down the line, it's going to be even more virtual. So, like, having an expensive virtual painting is going to be doper than having a real painting. I don't agree with that, but, like, I like what he's trying to say. Like, he believes in it. He's like, fuck it, if you think it's stupid, whatever, but I like it. You know what I mean? It was dope to hear. But, I feel you on that, bro. You gotta try different shit out. You gotta.
Yeah, now's the time to learn, especially while you're young. Just fucking try shit out. Like when I learned, like if I could go back in time, like the best thing you could do as soon as you turn 18 is like a TFSA.
Yeah, tax free, baby.
No, I didn't know how good it was.
Tax free.
Because I had like a rental condo, and then like I did the math and everything. But also like when you first turn 18 and you start like from that 18 to 20 age, and you just do it's tax free, whatever. Yeah. You just let it grow. Tax free. You can buy like whatever companies you like. Buy it. You can buy like dividend stocks and reinvest it. Like I found like this calculator online, and you can do it like once you let it grow for like 20 years. Even if you buy like this like TD Bank stock, or like Canadian National Railway, boring shit. It doesn't have to be good, and you don't have to put a lot. You just have to put like $5 grand and like $1,000 every year.
Yeah.
$2,000 every year solely when you feel like it. In 20 years you'll be getting paid like 100 to 200 grand a year tax free. It's way better than a salary. It's way better than a pension, and you get it at 40 years old, not 65. And that's just your backup. You could go heavy, say, I want to go hard into Airbnb. Like right now, I think Airbnb is like the best play. It's getting like massacred right now.
Like the stock of Airbnb?
It just came out, like the IPO, and it went to 220. Now it's like 140 a share.
Okay.
They're still doing well at booking shit, but what happens when the shit's over? I feel like us and the generation like coming up, it's not going to be hotels and shit anymore. It's going to be Airbnb.
You think so, eh?
Everybody's going to be booking Airbnb and doing their thing. And if you look at any decent company, if you bought it the first year when it came out, like $10,000 could turn into like $1 million more. Just leave it. Put your money, leave it. You're not going to get rich quick.
I agree.
It takes time.
I agree.
Nobody gets
Take
rich
a
quick.
Few you like and leave it.
You gotta leave it, let it grow, continue with something, work your day job, forget about it.
And then one day
it's gonna do it. There's so many shit like that right now.
We have to
they say the degree is important, but that shit's just as important. If you're willing to put 50 grand into a degree, put 10 grand.
Whatever.
Into
whatever
like something you like.
With. Yeah.
Airbnb,
exactly.
Home Depot, Costco, and just leave it. Let it grow.
Bro.
Let it do its thing. It's just as valuable as that, and it teaches you like to make money without having to work for it. And once you learn that, it fucks your head up and changes you.
Bro, the shit's called versatile vigilante for a reason, bro. Versatile, like I learned that you have to do a bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying? You have to do a couple different things and figure some other shit out.
You know, Canopy growth stock?
Yeah.
When it first came out, I went to the bank and I'm like, hey, I want to open up an account. The guy's like, why? I'm like, I want to invest in this company because I know, like,
I remember that.
Marijuana is going to take off. And he's like, oh, why do you want to do that? And he laughed at me. And he's like, that's not a good idea.
A bank guy, right?
Money, yeah. And then I did it and made 30 grand.
Yeah, there we go.
Just off for 5 grand.
Alright, bro, you're taking me out for some steak dinner.
You know what I mean? And I was like, fuck, if I listen to these guys,
no, bro.
You just have to see something you believe in.
Some people are gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
It just is. It is what it is. Fuck it. You look at me like I'm crazy. Then I'm doing it. Like you have to do what you have to do, bro. I remember one time I was asking you about this shit, or we were talking, and you were saying how you had an opportunity that was like a big risk and a big reward. Where like if it didn't work out, you might like kind of be out on your own type shit. But if it works, like you're out on your own but popping.
Yeah.
And I remember your family was kind of like, "No, don't do it," and you were like, "No, I gotta do it." That was dope to hear.
And then all they ask after when it's like too late. No,
that
when it's like,
okay,
if I invest like a couple grand and it has this much upside, but I could lose it all, it's a couple grand.
Yeah.
But the upside.
Exactly. You can't.
But if you're buying at the top and the upside is like how much more is gonna go, but it could drop a lot, then it's not, the ratio is not.
You have, exactly, you have the balance. You
like the same thing with Bitcoin. Like when it was 4,000 a coin, I told everybody, hey, put some money in this
it's
shit.
Worth it.
Now it's worth it because I saw it went to like 20 grand or something in 2017.
Yeah.
And then it dropped all the way down. And everybody's like, fuck this. This is shit. And I was like, hey, this is shit now, but it's 3 to 4 grand a coin. If you put in $500, you lose $500.
You don't even remember.
If it goes back to 20, the upside is high. The downside is low.
100%.
And then nobody listened. Everybody's then now when it's this, hey, did you do this?
Yeah,
did you invest in it? It's like, why the fuck are you asking now? Like when it was, don't ask now.
But the same,
I won't tell you to buy now. Don't buy now. It's too late. You gotta wait.
I don't think so though. I think
don't go too crazy though. Don't take 60 grand and buy one coin.
But I'll never also tell anyone what to spend. You know, like bro, if you want to put your everything,
you want to do it, but like. When it's there, wait for the dip.
You know what's crazy though? This shit with Bitcoin has, like you said, that shit happened already, where it did go all the way back down. And the people before it went back down were talking about it like you're talking about today, like, oh, we need Bitcoin, and it was high. Then it crashed again. Everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, remember, so that's why you gotta wait. Wait when it crashes down. Let everybody say, "Oh, see, I told you."
Bro, I think that shit's gonna crash.
It will.
And go up a few times.
Yeah.
Like for a while.
So let it hit. Let everybody see, I told you this shit.
Yeah.
It's garbage. Yeah.
That's that hindsight 2020, bro. And when it's going good, everyone wants to be a part of it.
I've seen it so many times now. Because like even like on your like bank app, I have like watch lists of stocks, and I've seen it so many times. I've seen stocks drop. It's over. News articles. It's over. As long as it's a decent company, they come back.
I agree, man.
Eventually, a year from now, 2 years from now. So you just gotta wait for like opportunities like that. And then
exactly. That's facts. That's life too, though. Like you have to get good at picking. Like we were talking about before the podcast. Sometimes you take longer to get good at something. Same with a stock. Same with a person at a job. Sometimes you just have to let it do its thing. You know what I mean?
Like any 18 to 20-year-olds out there. 5 grand, savings, put in Airbnb, leave it for 5 years. I guarantee you won't lose money.
Yeah, I rate it, bro. I don't know about Airbnb like that, but ride for your company, bro.
They almost did like $1 billion in sales in this quarter during the pandemic, and it's just like an online computer software. So they don't have offices,
inventory and shit.
They don't have all this fucking overhead. Yeah. Once it's just like a simple thing, and like
they don't really have to do anything except host.
Who are the hosts, and they actually like the software.
Yeah.
They tell me like Airbnb, they give the insurance to the host up to $1 million.
Oh, okay.
So let's say some fuckhead comes in and burns the place down, they get covered up to $1 million from Airbnb, no extra cost. It says it helps them set it up, it helps them find out what the right price is. Like, so if for me, when I book an Airbnb for a car or something, I like the process.
Yeah.
And when the hosts like the software they're using,
it's a win-win. Yeah. No, that makes sense, bro. I'm not a huge user of Airbnb, but I definitely feel what you're saying. I think the non-inventory shit is dope for a lot of business. Like just not like the overhead. Not having to worry. Like a hotel, you got to worry about all that shit.
Yeah.
You got to buy everything. You know,
this is just good software shit.
Yeah, the hosts are really taking all the risk. it's their houses and shit. Airbnb workers don't.
Yeah, they're not buying the houses and then Airbnb.
They're not even renting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a great idea, bro. It's basically like kind of the Uber of that shit. But all that shit's good, man. Shopify, bro, that's a big thing in like, that's a huge monster. I don't know what the stock was worth a while back, but now, holy fuck.
That's one thing. I had $5,500 and Shopify at $150, and then it went to $1,900. But I sold it for like, when it went to 180, made $500 and was like, plus. But now I'm like, fuck, you just let that shit go.
Yeah, but that's a good lesson. You're talking
like from $5,000 to $150,000.
Yeah, that's
when shit changes in your life. Yeah. Like when it makes like a huge difference.
Couple of real racks.
Like that's like you turn that to 150, then you cash out, then you just put into a couple safe ones and you turn that 150 to 500 eventually. Yeah. That's when. So you just gotta leave some shit, let it grow. But the best time to start is when you're young. Yeah. It was like, oh, save up to save it to go to school and shit. No, you should be saving up, investing right away from 18. Even if you only make 10 to 15% a year. Eventually it adds up to a lot. It just compounds. Sure. And it becomes more than your work. It doesn't matter how hard you can work, you can't replace that with how fast it grows by itself. Yeah.
Well, bro, it's just good to have a few different things.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what, bro? As a former 18-year-old, you gotta just do it after you get some shit out of your system too, bro.
No, but that's the problem is nobody taught us this.
That's true.
If there was like our parents were so hardcore, like, say, go to school, like get a job, do this, but they were like, hey, fucking do this, like, all we have to do, like, from now on, as soon as I have, like, a kid, whatever I'm doing, boom, whatever's, like, a good stock, like, let's say, if our parents, put $5,000 when we were born into Apple stock for us, they would never have to do anything for our life again once we hit 20. Yeah. Once you hit 20 years old, you could pay for your house, you could buy your car, you could pay for your school. It's just like thinking ahead before. 100%. All you make is that one thing. They don't have to worry about like, oh, I gotta work, take another job to save for my kid's school fund, to save for my kid's car, to do this or that. It's just shit like that. But we're never taught that shit.
Yeah, you kind of have to figure it out. Yeah.
They think it's like fake. But if you look at
let me ask you this: if you were 18 and someone told you this, would you think you would have listened, or you would have think like, fuck? You think so? Interesting. For me,
100%. I was looking for it, but nobody was saying that shit.
Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. I had to
find out myself.
That's how it had to be, I think. Yeah. That's how it had to be. Evolve into a boss, I
wanted to know
evolution. Bro, I think about some of the shit we used to do when we were younger, and now I think about it, I'm like,
that's why the only thing I do is because I like before in high school, we like to smoke weed. It was in rap music, so I was like, shit, everybody does this shit. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody likes it. If this becomes legal, it's gonna become like beer. Yeah. It's gonna become like LCBO, like what people like go and get every day, what parents get, but even more. I don't know now. Still, I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty even from the ratio of like Canadians smoking weed and drinking.
I think it's definitely way closer than it used to be.
Or like a little bit more, a little bit less.
Definitely way closer than it used to be.
A lot more.
Adults definitely are starting to smoke more weed than they used to. I think like older age group for sure. Younger, always been part of it. I think. You know what's funny though? With the weed shit, I didn't think this would be like a stocks talk, but I like this. I fucking didn't invest in any of the weed stocks. Then I'm like, alright, let me fuck with one of them. You ever heard of Namaste? Yeah. Bro, I bought it at its very highest and it crashed so bad. I'm like, oh my god, this is my intro to the weed stock world, man. It's so funny. And I'd read like shit on Google, like, no, it's gonna bounce back. Drake's gonna fucking plug it and shit. Yeah. It was so funny, bro. I'm like, alright. You still have to put it with the weed. And like in any good industry, you need to identify the good company in that industry. I picked the shit one.
You got it.
You need the right one in the industry.
Same thing like with my brother. He like went in. I've seen those before because I did it too. And it's like there's the good companies. Same thing like with crypto. Mm-hmm.
Exact same thing.
There's 100 coins.
Just pick.
It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP. Yeah. Stick to those. Yeah. But $100 at a time. Well, you got $500.
Whatever it is.
Stick to the good ones.
That's it.
Don't get tricked.
Facts.
Sumo coin went up 10,000% today.
There's a million.
That's what they want you to do.
Exactly.
They want you to
Grab
buy that
bread,
shit.
boom.
They don't want you to buy the legit one.
Exactly.
Same thing with weed. It's like Canopy. It's the legit one. It's like buy Canopy. It's a bit more expensive, but buy that one. My brother was like looking at like these like mushroom stocks or something.
The penny stocks.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this one." I'm like, "No, I did this shit."
Yeah.
It doesn't like they have to be legit. All of a sudden he's like, "Oh, what happened? The stock got halted."
Yeah.
It went to like some other shit, and now it became from like Mind Medicine. It turned to like another company called Extria Corp. And he's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "It's mine is 80%." And I'm like, "Fuck, man, happens, no, bro. You gotta stick to the good one." You get tricked because it looks like what everybody goes in the falls. Get rich quick,
bro. Get rich quick is that's the death of the American dream.
Can't get rich. I want to get rich quick.
Bro, that's the death of of a smart person,
but you
bro.
Can't.
It
doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
Very few lucky, but you gotta work. You gotta find the right thing. It takes some time. It's like me. Let's say you say you're gonna start a business, right? And I say, here's 50 grand. I support your business. You start your business. 3 months come by. How come my 50 grand is 30 grand? It should be 200 fucking grand.
It's not ready.
Why the fuck isn't your... What are you gonna say to me?
You're like, bro, it's not ready.
It's just been 3 fucking months.
The cake is not even in the oven yet, bro.
It's just been 3 months. Yeah. Let me set my business up. Let me work. Let me start bringing the profits. Even me. Time. If you give me 100 grand, a month later I'm gonna have you 200. No, you gotta let me take that 100, put it in a job, do the job, make money, give you a cut. Bro. It's the same thing for them. It's the same 100%. Thing for anything. 100%. I wish you could do it in the next day you're a millionaire, but it doesn't work like that. Nah, you gotta choose the right one. Don't get tricked.
The universe laughs at you when you try to do that.
Yeah, don't try to do it quick. You gotta do the right companies. They might be boring, but like Adobe stock. Those are good companies. Apple, Microsoft, they're all good companies. You gotta leave it. They do their thing. MasterCard, Visa, it doesn't have to be Extra Corp. They're gonna explode. It's backed by this guy. No, it's very simple. Yeah. It's very simple.
That's a dime a dozen. Those stocks too. There's a million of those stocks.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
It's hard to be Coca-Cola. There's a million.
Even look, if you want to go open a Swiss Chalet, or you want to go open a Harvey's, they say the first 5 years you don't make a dollar.
Yeah, you're just paying employees, paying stock, all that.
Is everybody forgetting? What do you do when you go get a degree?
You're investing.
The first 4 years, do you make a dollar?
You're spending money. You're spending that money.
You don't make a dollar. You study. You open the books. Yeah. You read. You do your exam. Did you get paid for that the first year? Did you get paid for the second year? No. So why is it different for a stock?
For real life. Exactly. No, it's fact.
Now 1 month I'm supposed to get rich on stock. How come you didn't say that with your university degree? Because it takes time. You gotta invest. It takes years.
You know what
once you accumulate, you get it going.
It starts to roll.
But that's why the best part is if you start when you're young.
Yeah.
If you start from 20 and then by 25 it starts to pick up. Because if you start at 40, then it's going to take a couple of years.
Bro, earlier, if you clue into it earlier, bless. If you don't, I'm also one of those people where it's never too late.
Yeah.
Just do it anytime.
Yeah, you see a lot of people like Mark Cuban and all those guys. They all started. Yeah. So there's still time, but it takes time.
It takes time.
You know what I mean?
You never skip the steps.
You gotta do the hustle. You gotta get knocked down. You gotta say, "Oh, this is not for me." Like in my profession, the first job I did, when I was working for a company, and the first side job I did, I went and I fucking went hard. I tried my hardest. I went after work and I fucked it up. I went and I did this job in Yorkdale Mall.
Yeah.
And I went and then I fucked it up. And at first, I didn't understand the process. So I went in. We were doing hardwood. I was doing it, but we were coming from working in the day, so we were tired. And we would do the work, but we would leave a mess everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then I left, and then I would get a call in the morning. What the fuck? You left this place like a fucking mess. Nobody can work the next day and shit. And I was like, oh, what are we talking about? I was like, oh, this is the assholes, right? But it was me.
Right.
I was leaving a fucking mess. I was like, so then I went and I realized, hey, you gotta clean up. You could do a good job, but if you're messy, it's bad.
Exactly.
You could do 90% of a good job and be clean, and you're better than the guy who's 100% good. but not clean.
Facts.
So
wild.
I got in hardship for that, and then I learned you gotta be clean.
Yep.
So I was like, wait, after that, from now on, I tell all the guys every set I do, whatever you do, you be clean. Before you leave the site, clean it up, put it in a garbage bag, don't be fucking sloppy. Then after I went and we were doing the work and then a couple of things and I went out and then a couple hardwood boards we did was bad. And then I couldn't sleep at night because the guy was calling saying this is fucked up. I had to go at night. And then the main guy I had that was helping me out, he got like some stomach issue. And he's like, man, I can't come and help you finish. And he was like, I didn't really know. I was just an apprentice.
Right.
Trying to set up the job. I just wanted to like run my own job.
Yeah.
And then after he's like, I can't come in. I gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, fuck. So I went there at night. Like I was so tired and shit. I went in, did the last piece myself. And when you do hardwood in like on concrete, you have to do it with glue. But it's like thick orange like glue. And then I put the board in, I close it, and he's like, just put weight on it. Because if you don't put weight, it will expand and gap. So I put weight on it, and I was like, oh, it was the last board in the job. Cleaned up the job site. I was like, thank God I'm out. Finally, I finished it. I did it.
Right.
I believe everything. I get a call in the morning. Oh, it's the last fucking straw with you. You fucking... I didn't realize if you put too much weight on the hardwood, it squeezes all the glue out.
Oh,
so all the glue squeezed out and goes over and it hardens like epoxy and you can't get it off. So then after I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go do it. And he's like, you know what? He's like, no, I'm going to go do it. Don't ever call me again. Hangs up the phone. And then I was supposed to make $1,200 that job.
No.
I didn't get paid. And I went there for like a week and a half straight. And I didn't get paid, and I had to pay the guy who helped me, so I lost money. Yeah. And then for like a week, I didn't tell like anybody, like my family and shit. And I was like, I'm not cut out for this. This is not for me. I'm not gonna make it. I'm like, it's just not what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what happened, but I was like, you know what? Just keep going.
Right.
Keep going, and then eventually, I learned those mistakes, and I never did it again. I never did that shit again, and then like I got better, and then you learn.
You learn.
So that's what I saw with like my brother and stuff. Because at the beginning, when I was letting him do like estimates and shit and training him, he was like fucking up. And I was like, fuck this guy. I don't know. Yeah. He's not gonna make it. He's making me look bad. Yeah. But it was the same shit that happened with me. Yeah, I just let it go by, and then now he's becoming really good. And now he's like landing. Now he's like, don't worry, I got it. He's going to sites for me. He's handling it, and now I have some free time. Maybe this day I don't have to wake up as early.
I like
because
that,
he's going to say, he's like, I got it for you. And I'm like, holy fuck. I almost caved 6 months in and said, he's not cut out for this. And I was doing good.
Give it some time, bro.
Just give it some, it doesn't happen right away.
Ever. For anything. For anything you do. That's real shit. I love that story, man.
Yeah, so and if I would have gave up there, story. I would have regretted it.
That would have been it. Bro, when you stop doing something, your options are over.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done. If you keep going, you never fucking know. Like you said, at that time when you fucked up, did you think you'd be at the position you're in?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Not like even 1%.
That's what I'm saying. And then you're in your position now.
I was like, I'm a failure. I'm a fucking loser.
Bro.
Like, I'm not gonna do it. I was so bummed out. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Imagine where you'll be.
This is not what I'm supposed to
be. You just keep going, bro. You just keep fucking going.
And I'm sure that's what all the other guys did too. Like, they don't say it, but I'm sure they went through fucking hell too.
And bro, before I was in the job I'm in now, I was doing sales, and bro, I had so many times where I fucked up, where I'm like, fuck, this is ending up not going to be worth the hassle at all. And then all of those times, I was able to use it going forward.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm getting better at this shit.
And now, when I fuck up, I like it.
Yeah, because you're like, I see what I did.
Yeah, like, I will do that.
Never again. Yeah.
Like, oh, he got me. Oh, I learned something new. I'm always learning something new.
Always.
I'm like, every time I think I know it all, I get.
Facts,
and then I'm like, oh, I don't know it all.
When you get that too, when you're like, wow, this really isn't the way right now. It's fucking crazy. You're like, holy shit. There's a lot left to learn.
Yeah, every day. Like, you think you know it, and then you're like, oh, no. Back to the drawing board and shit. But you take it with a different approach. You're like, hey, okay, all right, we don't have to do this.
And then it's soft, bro. The more you do, the better you get. Like, it just becomes better for you. I had a funny story, bro. This was this year. COVID, like, in middle of the lockdown, it was Christmas time and shit. And I went for a walk, and I was fucking realizing like, bro, it's been a while since I've been outside, like going out, not in my house or not working, because there was nothing open, nothing to do, and bro, I swear to God, I was like kind of tripping out to cross the street. I'm like, oh fuck, what if I? And then I'm like, bro, I've crossed the street a million fucking times. Like I know how to cross the street, you know. You realize like, nah, I've done this shit before. It sucked.
But that's what I gotta say. Like,
COVID's fun.
All the people with COVID or any shit that happened, but like since the fucking beginning, I haven't fucking stopped.
You still gotta do your shit, hard, man.
Taking my precautions, telling the guys wear their masks on site and shit, but
you do what you can do.
Going off, I'm not letting it stop me, and I'm not losing 2 years doing nothing. The only biggest regret is I wanted to travel as much as I can.
The social life took a big hit.
So that took a hit.
Yeah.
So we can't stop it on whatever you can now.
Exactly.
Whatever you can learn, like shit at home.
Bro, you make the most out of every situation, man.
But for a time, like there was like a time in between where I started to like.
Bro, that's happened to me like 10 times.
Yeah.
I'll go.
It's hard right now to be motivated.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's hard to be motivated right now.
That's why it's important to hear.
Especially if you're doing school right now. Like I see like my little sisters.
It's at home all day, bro.
On their laptop, because I go from site. Sometimes I pop in and out to grab something.
Zoom in.
And they're on. I'm like, my other sister missed prom.
Yeah.
Didn't do the graduation.
Yeah, bro. It's
the other one,
it's ugly.
One of my other sisters, a year and a half she spent in school. She's done high school. She spent a year and a half in school.
Yeah.
She's done high school.
Yeah, she spent most of it on the computer and shit. Yeah.
You know how horrible that is?
I know, bro. It's crazy. Every age group got hit by this shit.
You can't tell me that if they all went to school together, they would all start dying. I don't believe it.
I got my opinions on COVID. I got a lot of opinions on COVID.
I don't believe it. I know, okay, yes, there's some stuff, but you took away some of the best times of their life.
Go closer.
You took away some of the best times of their life.
Bro,
like, I don't know about you, but grade 12 was like one of the funniest years of my life, getting wild. I had fun. After that, the first year, like, if you lose that, like, that's where you grow up, socialize, mingle. How do you take that away?
It's a big hit, bro. It's a big hit. I won't argue that, but one thing, this is just from based on my personal like life. There was a time the past summer where like things started opening up a bit and shit, so people were out and about. To me, besides all the masks and all that bullshit, everything seemed pretty chill. Like I feel like everyone kind of got used to being around people again. I don't feel like it takes a long time to get back into it. That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
I don't think it will. Yeah. Like a kid, yeah, fuck, they missed out on senior year and shit. I was an awkward ass kid in high school. They'll be an awkward ass kid too, and you learn, you know, like you'll be okay. I think so.
Or what about the guys? No, but what if you do the school where you go to like the first year on university res? And that's where you actually want to lose that. That sucks too.
But yo, we were talking last time I saw you about how I just really started running around probably like the year like 2018, 2019. Whereas like, yo, if I want to go somewhere, I could just go. Like it didn't really hit me before. It was like, oh, I got this and this to do. Now I'm like, no, if I do it, I can go wherever the fuck I want. Then the COVID shit hit. It's like, oh fuck, I was bound to go here. I got the bread for it.
That's why I was so.
That's why I was like, fuck.
Every chance I got, like I don't know what happened. I hit this phase and like I was like, fuck it, I'm going. I'm like, you know what? I work by hours because I was working 7 days a week, and I remember like I had like older friends and shit that I don't really hang around with anymore. But they always tell me, hey, you're fine. Why aren't you coming out to the club tonight? Yeah. You're working like a dog. You won't lose all your life. So then they started to say that, but then I started saving up money. And I was like, fuck it. Then I went to Mexico. Then I went to Vegas twice. I went to Chicago. I went to St. Lucia. I went to Atlanta. And now when the shit shut down, I was like, thank God I did that. Yeah. And when I went, everybody's like, why are you doing that? Yeah. Why are you going away so much? Oh, now you're not saving your money. But that shit is worth more than money.
Way more.
One thing more than hustling money is going to places.
I agree.
Going to places and experiences. I wouldn't, if you gave me like, my trip I had in St. Lucia with the guy John you saw and Mike.
John T'Challa, gang.
If you give me $50,000 right now, I would not take it to take away that experience. Bro, when I went to Vegas, if you gave me $10,000, I would not take it away. I went to Miami.
It's not about the money, bro.
Those are like some shit doesn't there's money can't replace that shit or something else. So that is like very valuable.
I really believe fully in work hard, play hard.
And you think it's a lot of money? It's not.
No, it's not, bro.
It's like boom, it's like $1,000 at one time or $1,500. But if you do plan in advance 3 months,
it's nothing,
you put it on your visa, $250 a week. $250
You don't even remember.
$250 a week.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Right.
But there's nothing better you could spend your money on.
Because, bro, 3-4 days even in the new
That's what
place,
I would do. Yeah, it's
refresh, bro. You come
and you see different lifestyles and different things, and you're like, wow, this is how
different weather.
I went to Atlanta because John was there, and you never would have called me Atlanta before. Like I would never say I want to go there, but because he went there, and and it was like a whole different lifestyle. Like I didn't see and all this shit, and I was like. Wow,
anywhere,
like I learned like a lot. Like I would have never known. Just that experience.
Bro, I went to Cincinnati for work.
Really?
And Cincinnati is not like a beautiful place, whatever. It's dope though. It's like, yo, it's its own little city. I saw some crazy shit, bro. Like, go to the casino in Cincinnati, you see some fucking hood guys down there. Like, you don't see them at Woodbine Casino, you know? It's like, bro, that right there was just worth, like, you see different shit. Different experiences, bro. I'll go anywhere, man.
Yeah, that one, like anywhere you get a chance for.
I'll go anywhere.
Even like one job, like I had at work, we did like a rec room in Winnipeg. And at the beginning, we went to Winnipeg, and at the beginning I was like against it kind of. And the owner was like, "Why don't you want to go?" He's like, "Just go." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to fucking jump on a plane to Winnipeg." But then now when I look back, I was like, "Fuck, I wish I could do more," because it was sick. The way, like, I think about it now, like, I would go to a site, set it up, I would go to the airport, jump on a plane, get first class ticket because it's business, get a couple drinks on the plane, have shrimp cocktail and shit, fly to Winnipeg, I would go meet these guys on site, set up these guys in a different province, and because I was worried about finishing a job and not knowing guys in a different province, but it actually all kind of worked together. And it's similar. Like I went and there's a place where we go and it's like Durox where we get all our flooring material. Right. But this place was called, let's say, Connecticut. And it was but it's the same shit, just different company. Yeah. So I went up, I jump in, get a rent-a-car, go around, get a hotel, come back. The only problem was at the time, it wasn't in the summer, it was cold, and in Winnipeg, it's fucking cold. I went outside with the guys one day, we were like walking to the bar, and I was like, it's so fucking cold, like it's really cold. So I wish I went there in winter, but just like the feeling of like now that it's not there, I was like, fuck, I used to just jump on a plane.
Hell yeah, that's exactly what I mean. That's one thing that's probably the thing I'm most excited to do when time comes. Like I was talking to Bellum about this, shout out Bellum. Like shit gets normal. I don't see myself going to clubs too much still. Like I didn't do that much before. I don't really think that like but I want to go to different spots. Like that's what I really fuck with.
Yeah, even
see different
3-4 days is good because
that's what I
you know what the good thing about doing 3-4 days is if you really like it, what can you do?
Go back. I love the short trips, bro. I love the short trips.
That's the thing.
That's a lick.
You don't want to go for a week and then you hate it. If you go for 3 days a week, because that's what people used to say. They're like, "Oh, you can't go on vacation for 3 days." Yes, you can.
I love it for 3-4 days.
Even with your work schedule, we get 12 12 like holidays.
Yeah, you only have to take one.
So usually there's a long day. We think so. Let's say you get 2 weeks vacation. Yeah. You could take the Thursday, Friday, and the Mondays off. So you could go for that 4 nights.
You only take a day or 2 off.
You still have fucking fun. You won't regret only going for 4 and 6.
I love going.
And if you really fucking like it,
go right back.
Go back for 7 days. Now that you know.
Facts, bro.
I really like Mexico too because the food's good and the drinks are good.
I've never been, bro. Like
the food's actually pretty good. Like I didn't have any problems with food. They had some nice shit, and they make drinks like actual drinks here, like fancy drinks, professional.
I really like Vegas though, bro. Yeah, because you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
You can go as hard as you can. It's like being
in Chuck E. Cheese for an adult.
But you can go as hard as you can with the partying if you want, or you can chill the fuck out as much as you. I love that. Like, yo, when you go downtown Toronto, it's fucking hectic, and it's like, I love it, but you can't really chill sometimes. It's like, yo, it's hectic. Vegas Strip, you could chill the fuck out on a.
You know what else the thing is, dude? Vegas costs just as much as a night in downtown Toronto.
Facts, bro. It's not much different at all. At all. It's, I fuck Vegas.
It costs just as much.
Facts.
If you want to go to, like, Vancouver or Montreal, you can go to Vegas. You can go to Mexico.
That's the first place
because right now I'm like, okay, now that you can't go away, maybe tour Canada. But then I started to look at the prices, and I'm like, I could go to like fucking Hawaii or go to Banff.
It's a lot of money, bro.
And I'm like, okay, I want to go to Banff too, but I also want to go to Hawaii first.
Shout out Banff, I've been there. It is sick, but I feel exactly what you're saying. I'm in that same boat.
Like, you gotta like really like it. I'm like, I want to do it eventually, knock it off my bucket list.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I want to go to the fucking Bahamas. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Europe.
Hawaii's high on my list, bro. I want to go there, but big time. Bro, you go to Italy yet?
I went once when I was really small and once when I was 14.
I went.
And I remember it was sick, but definitely have to go back to like actually truly experience it. Because I experienced it as like a kid, not even really a teenager, 14.
I went a couple years ago. It was fire.
It was good.
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's interesting, and you know what? It is different though. It's like, all right, there's some really cool shit to see here, but I wanted to come back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is dope.
Did you go to Rome?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there I saw a lot of like crazy. But you know what's
Rome's
weird?
Crazy.
I don't know if it was because I was small, but I remember when I went when I was small and I looked at the paintings on the wall and shit.
Yeah.
And then when I came back like 10 years later, it wasn't the same because they said people were taking so many pictures. It fucks it up. And it actually, I don't know if it was because I was small, but to me, like when I look back, it felt like there was a big difference.
Hell yeah, it is. Bro, so when I went to specifically Rome and Florence, so Rome and Florence are like the two of the most historical cities in the world. There's these 1,000-year-old sculptures and shit. I went there, I see all these sculptures. Surrounding it, Gucci store, people selling shit on the side. Like everything around it is urban. Like, and then it's like thousands of years old right there. It's really trippy, bro. Like there's McDonald's across the street from the Coliseum. Literally, there's like a McDonald's across. I'm like, bro, it's fucking crazy. Like, it's
but how trippy is that?
There
was a whole civilization there,
and now there's a new one.
And like it went down. Like, and how the fuck did they build that shit before? Like, did they have the same tool we had? Because the architecture and the stuff they did, like, how did they do it without like scaffolds and cranes and?
Bro, the detail of them. That shit.
It looks like shit we do now, but now if you said put up a building without the tools we have, they say no way.
And bro, even with bro, you're around a lot of construction workers.
They had to have our tools.
With the tools, you still probably can't do that quality.
It's wild.
That's fucked.
They don't do quality like that.
I don't see how that makes sense. Like it's crazy, bro. That hit me. I'm like, bro, that McDonald's is built with way more technology.
Did you go to Vatican?
Yeah.
Did you go? There was like that St. Peter's tomb where you can't walk in.
Yeah.
But it's like all gold.
Yeah.
You see the inside of that fucking place? Crazy. Like who the fuck was the Tylers there doing that shit? Like fuck.
There's other cities in Europe too, even in Italy, where it's built on like hills and shit. Like it's all steps going down. Like, bro, this is so wild. I love this.
See, that's a real story. So my grandpa, he took me back to his city where he came from. Yeah. It was called Castellone. So, like you said, you went to it and he took me and you had to drive like 4 hours and it's this area and it's like a hill.
Yeah.
And at the top of the hill is a church and you go around and all the houses are like small little shacks and everything. And after he came back, like as a grandpa, but he came there when he was born.
Yeah.
Right? And then he came, he's like, this is the area, and he's like, every day, like the thing the town would look forward to, like at the end of the week is when the church would ring the bell and they would all go to church. And it was like a very small thing, and then they went, and the whole like village made like pasta in a huge pot, in a huge fucking thing, and they all met up and we ate it in a picnic, right? But that's where he came from.
And now it's not like that?
So he came from there, came to this country, didn't know how to speak English. He said when he got a job, he said first came off, like when he first got a job, he slept on the bench for the first 3 months he was here, and he was working on the railroad tracks, but he didn't know how to speak English, so he would work, and then after he would just put his hand out and they would pay him, but he would never know if he was getting paid because he didn't know how to speak. He would just accept what they would give, and he ended up buying a big house, doing his thing, and coming up and like helping like even my mom and my generation now. So it's like if he could do that from nothing, then we have accountability too. To do better than that.
There's not much of an excuse.
If he can do that, and we came and we had all the opportunities we had now, like we gotta go continue that on. Because look where they had to come from to come and bring us for a better life, and now we have those. They didn't have those opportunities we have. We could do shit now, like
there were things that they had to go through that were super difficult. We have our own. So one thing I've seen people do is like, I hate when this is said. It's like, I was born in the wrong time. Like, bro, back in the day, this and this and this and this. Kind of like the opposite of what those guys were saying to you about kids can't do shit anymore.
yeah.
You know, like opposite. Bro, you can't compare. They had the way different struggles. We have way different struggles. They didn't have to worry about IG and like shit like that, but we didn't have to worry about literally like
But I think if we had to, we would trade what we're doing now.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You
we
can't
want to sleep on a
compare.
bench and wonder how we're gonna get paid tomorrow.
Yeah, you can't compare. It's
now, like,
it's
you know what I
fucking
mean?
crazy.
Like, we shouldn't be bummy. Like,
Nah, the struggles are always there and they've always been there. It's just different. These are ours now. Let's deal with them. You gotta take care of business,
Look
bro.
at Drake.
Look at Drake, man.
Remember, I remember when I was like in grade 9, they're like, oh, fuck this guy. Everybody used to hate on him.
Me too. I was that way. I used to diss Drake all the time, bro.
Yeah. Now I like him. Like, you gotta give him his credit.
I think he's a fucking G, bro. I love him. Woo! I think he's the biggest, like...
Imagine he listened to what everybody said.
Hell yeah, bro. He's like, fuck... Bro, people called him the pussy, like, the bitch. He was the one killing people. Bro, I love that.
Remember what people used to say? Imagine he listened, he's like, they're right. Bro, I am a fag. I am a this.
He's a legend, bro.
I am not gonna
really
make
think
it.
He's a legend.
Imagine he listened.
I know. It's fucked. I think he's a legend, bro.
Now nobody talks shit about him anymore. Nobody can talk shit about him.
Bro,
if you're from Toronto, you can't talk shit about him. You put us on the map.
I've heard people try it too, and it's like,
too late to talk.
Because he's number one in the whole game. He's not the biggest Canadian rapper. He's the biggest.
A lot of Toronto rappers making it now because he set the foundation.
Bro. Smiley, bro.
You know?
Smiley. But no, I love Drake. All those guys.
A lot of guys making it now.
Them, bro.
Who's Tory Lanez?
Yeah, all those guys, bro.
A lot of guys have the opportunity to make it now.
When Drake is like puts his foot into something, it turns into way bigger. Like people want to diss whatever. That's a fact, bro. Like he gets involved in something, it turns into a huge thing.
Exactly.
He's a smart guy too, bro. The way he talks about shit.
I was watching like a YouTube thing the other day, and it was saying the private jet he has, he doesn't even pay for it.
He's a smart
guy. Somebody sponsors it.
The
company sponsors it. He flies it just to promote it. So he doesn't even pay to fly to his tours.
He's a smart guy,
smart
bro.
That is?
He's a smart guy. He's a genius. You know what I like about him? His team. He all like the OVO team and shit. You're wearing the owl too. Jeez. Fucking. There we go. I love it. He's got different people on his team, eh? He's got the art people on his team. He's got like hood people on his team. Got people that do like the A&R, like all that shit. Like he's a smart guy, bro. He knows who's popping. He knows the right people, you know? He's a smart fucking guy.
Yeah, no, and he did it. And I remember in like grade 9, everybody was like, oh, you're no Drake, you're pussy, you're this.
And now,
he just fucking smoked everybody. But
yeah, and I was
just
guilty.
Another lesson. Me too, I did the same shit. But if you believe in something, don't fucking listen,
bro,
man.
Keep your foot on
the gas.
Listen
to what people have to say.
He used to get fucked with in the city too. People would fuck with him, like older rappers and shit fucked with him. They're like, you're a bitch.
Now they're probably regretting it.
That's what
and he's probably shitting on them now. Like they're probably like, hey, can you help me out? He's probably like, fuck you.
Yo, I really don't believe in like hating on anyone. I don't want
I used to do it before, like I said with the Nelk Boys.
Too.
And then after that I was like,
yeah,
I'm not doing it anymore. Let the guys same thing like what I'm learning now with my business. Like sometimes guys fuck up. But if they fuck up and they have a bad attitude,
that's different.
No, but if the guys have the right attitude, they are gonna fuck up. But if they're willing to learn from it and grow, you're only gonna have better people on your team that are gonna kill it.
That's that development, bro. In sports, you can't just like draft the best player from college and that's it. You have to draft the player and train them.
And that's what I'm starting to see now. And it's nice to see the glow up because like even one guy we had on like sites. He's like a very nice guy. Shout out John Claude. Guy killed it. Like this guy was always a hard worker from day one, doing his thing. And then one day we got in trouble with this other guy that came to our company and started causing trouble. Like he just came and he was taking so long to finish sites, causing problems. And then for some reason that guy was texting this guy and getting involved. and then started getting corrupt, and all these guys getting stolen. And then I was like, I don't know, it's gonna work out for both of you guys. And the same thing, we're like, hey, give this guy back a chance. We got rid of the bad guy. Then this guy comes, and now he's becoming one of our best guys. He's running sites, and he's not even like a full paid journeyman yet. He's coming up to that, and now I'm seeing him like glow up, and it's nice to see it too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't just do it just for the money. I'm seeing how many people I'm making relationships with now. Right? Like my brother's becoming really good. Michael's becoming really good. They're getting their own clients. I'm getting my own clients. We're growing. Like we're becoming big, and then we're getting our own guys, and we're just going like now. Like we have like 70 guys going at time, and it's nice to see because those people rely on us to feed their families. They're happy. Like because when I used to work on the site. Why I went to the office is the biggest thing I hated because in construction it was like you could work like 6 months and then let's say the site gets delayed, you're off for 2 weeks. And it's like, hey, we have nothing for 2 weeks. And I know all the guys I took from other companies, that's what they were used to. But the people who worked in the office never worked on the tools. So they were like, hey, and I was used to that too. So I used to go home and I hated it. I used to be embarrassed to go tell like Tiffany or my mom, be like, hey, I don't have work for 4 weeks. Like they don't understand it in construction, right? It's like, you're not working for 4 weeks. And I'm not like a lazy person. I want to work. Like, so I hated being at home. Like I would call, but they're just like, there's no work. So when I went to the office, like I made sure like my guys would never have that problem again. So I'm always fighting every day to make sure they're busy. So we've been working for like the last almost 4 years now. They never, only if they tell me they want a day off. They get a day off. But if not for that, I always keep them going. So they respect that now too, and they hustle. And they're all going, and I see them like they're doing things like some guys like want to buy a house. Like they're like, hey, can you give me a job letter? I'm looking to buy a house, and it makes me happy. I don't even care about the money. It's just like how many people you can help and grow, and you build relationships.
That's what it is, bro. It's the more I feel like that's a huge key. Like
it makes you more happier than making money. Like I hope to see like Michael one day make like hundreds of thousands of dollars and fucking kill it, and my brother, and I want to see them doing big things. Bro, that's just as much as me making like a bonus check or something and seeing each other grow. But if it was like I just hire some guy that I don't know, it's not the same feeling. So
especially if you don't develop.
You enjoy is like good. They say that's a wrong thing. It's not.
Well, this is the thing, bro.
Do better.
You need to have the chemistry. Whether you are good friends with them or you don't know them and you develop that chemistry, you need the chemistry.
The only thing you need to do is it's work.
It's work. That's what I'm saying.
Heated.
Professional.
You guys want to kill each other, but once we leave, let's say this is our work. Once we leave that door,
it's over.
Forget it.
But that's where I think that phrase of "don't work with family and friends" came from. It's hard to leave it at the door.
But some people who like just can't do it.
Some people can't do it.
But they say that. But if you go look at every company, it's family at the top.
It's true, bro. It's a big
part
of it.
Look at any company.
It's a big part
when I look at any big construction company, like I used to work for this one big company called Broccolini, and then I looked online. Head CFO Adriano Broccolini, Chief Executive Officer Dave Broccolini, Accounting Officer Peter Broccolini. Next thing you start to see it, then I started seeing this company. It's this guy's name, this guy's name, this name. And then you start to look at every like company, it's usually all family first.
No, it makes sense to me though.
Also, what do you see too with like a lot of smaller companies and mid-sized companies, like the boss's son?
Because they're both.
It's his son. They work together. They're doing it. Why? When they complain about the boss's son, why does the boss's son stick around and work with the owner?
Facts.
Because they don't have a better opportunity anywhere else. Because you're there with your family. You think the father or the mom who's running the business wants to see that person do bad? But let's say that same guy goes to another company. And he's working for a stranger. Do they care about you as much as the other person cares about? If my brother goes and works for another guy, they care about him as much and want to see him do as well? No way.
No, that's fact.
You're in the shark world.
Yeah.
You gotta go like a shark and
that's facts, bro.
buy beds and
you gotta play it smart.
You can't trust them. You don't know if they really want you that or they just want to keep you here.
Yo, let me ask you a funny question, bro. I'll see if you understand what I mean. Do you think the life we live is a game? I think so. I'll say because you have to make these certain moves shit's always gonna happen. Like in every board game, you're gonna get knocked back to like the shit.
You can't take it too serious.
You can't take it too
serious. And that's what I learned. The
I
company
literally
I
think
came
this
before
shit's a
used to
game.
take things serious. And then now when I came to this company, the guys have lots of so I see the older guys, something very stressful is going on, and they make a stupid joke.
Deal with humor,
and they walk away.
Right?
And I'm like, how's this a joke to you right now? But I'm like, wait, they get it. They probably been through so many stressful situations. Yes. Once it's over with, you're like, every time I go through something stressful, and then once it's over, I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
Bro,
but during it, you're like,
you're crazy. That's when I worked my summer job, like my high school job, and I had the older guys around. It was dope to see because something would happen. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucked. And then like take like 10 minutes even to walk to go fix it because they knew it was like so soft. You know what I'm saying? And that helped. I'm like, alright, it's not that serious, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. That's why, bro, I think this shit's literally a game. Like, you gotta play certain moves.
Yeah, it takes a while. And you gotta be easy and joke around.
Be easy, joke. Like, bro, it's just
crazy. And you gotta be able to take
heat,
because sometimes some people are having a bad day.
Oh, man.
Maybe their wife's giving them shit.
Some good
Maybe
people,
something's going on they don't know about to tell you, and they might hit you with an aggressive
What if you
thing. Just don't take it personally.
Someone's caught you on a bad day.
Yeah, just learn not to take it personally. If you take it personally, you lose.
You lose, bro, because then it's like...
On site, too, I try to tell them, they're like, oh, the guy's making us do this extra. He's making us do this. He's making this. I know it sucks, but...
You just do it.
Bite your tongue.
Bro.
Do it.
And it's over.
It will work over, you know what I mean? But once you start attacking back, you lose.
Taking shit
personal. Then they get their back up, and they start attacking back, and you just...
Taking shit personal is a bad thing, bro. It's easy to get sucked into that. You can't do it, especially work relationships. Work relationships, you should take almost nothing personally. Yeah. Because they don't really know you after work.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the time.
Or they care. They don't even care.
They don't care, exactly. So, yo, just work, professional. Social life has a little different. You know, boundaries are a little different, shit like that. Yo, you don't have to get too deep into this, but I want to ask this. How has life changed for you as a married man? Let me ask that.
So far it's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah? You liking it, eh?
I like it, yeah.
Shout out to the Dawn, too. You know. You already know.
No, it's good. Actually, like, it's been for a while, so with me it's more like
10 years.
Yeah, so we're dating, let's say, like 10 years, and it's like, when are you gonna make up your mind? If you're not...
I rate it, bro.
Like, I was thinking in my head, it's like, okay, we could say, like, oh, let's do another 10 years, 2 years, and then it's 12 years.
Yeah,
but,
what's
like,
the
if
point
you're
of
not,
that, yeah.
And then, for me, I come from, like, a big family, and her too, not a big family, but she has, like, 2 sisters, and, like, her family, but they're all, like, in the same house. So we go to her house, and it's great being with the family. Then we go to my house, and we're all with the family, and we never be alone. It's like, when are we gonna get
might as well tie
some like alone time, like ourselves, and get out? But unfortunately, like I wish we could be like going away now. And shit.
That's real shit.
But also, I was like, man, when are we gonna move on and just do my thing? And I already knew from before, like she's the one, like I really like her and shit, and we've been best friends like forever. And like I look at her, like you know what I mean? And I was just like. Fuck, I knew it, so I just, like, I was gonna do it. And then, so she didn't know, but I was already thinking about it for, like, 2 years.
Yeah.
She definitely knew. And I didn't say anything. She says she doesn't.
She definitely knew, bro.
And then I just went, I was just like, you know, gonna do it. We did it on New Year's, downtown.
You got married on New Year's?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Place. Not married on New Year's, I, like, proposed to her on New Year's.
That's fire.
And we went to, it was sick, Fairmont. They had like a New Year's party upstairs in the ballroom, and there was like 6 different ballrooms open with like a bunch of like different music and different venues. And we went there, and like she was like shocked, and we went back and and
that's fucking lit.
And then it got delayed because of COVID and shit.
Yeah, because I remember that shit was a while ago. That was like 2019. Yeah, shout out to you guys though, bro. I like that.
Yeah,
I like to see that.
And I have a lot of sisters, so I was trying to show them like the right way to.
That's real.
I feel like nowadays, like too many like girls just like get comfortable and just like.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like just.
You don't have to go trade all your chips in now.
Just commit. Like, it's like, oh, this is it.
Nah.
Like no, like bit, bro. You know what I mean? Like
a little bit.
Like it's not like over and shit. Like. Settle for what you deserve and shit. You know?
Bro, you gotta know your worth, man.
Yeah.
You gotta know your worth with everything.
And also, if a fucking... Because, yeah, for me, I have like 5 sisters, so it's like, if a guy's dating you for 10 years and he doesn't wanna...
You're like, what the fuck?
I'd be like, you gotta start like waking up and shit. You know what I mean? Like when it's gonna be after 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the difference?
So
that's real shit, bro. I like that though.
But we're good. We're best friends. Like we build a good hustle together, and she's exactly like me, just a girl person. She hustles.
She's a gangster.
She works. I had to tell her to stop her second job. Yeah. I was like, stop! Like, just work your full-time government job. Let's have fun.
Would you ever work with your wife?
I see it happening, but
that I think is dope.
Yeah, I think I could do it. I see a lot of small companies, like when we work with small GCs who do like Burger King, there's some chalets or McDonald's. It's usually like the husband and then the wife.
I think it's dope, bro.
So I was sick, but she does help me out with that shit, like after work, like with my like corporation. She helps me like file all my shit and shit. So I try to get her on that, help me, because one thing I can't do is I'm a mess with organization. Yeah, me too. I could bang out. I can put up numbers. That's a guy. I can make money. But I can't be organized. I can't be organized. So that's the best thing. So once we moved in together, I like go into my room and like open my drawer, and my shirts are so like nicely like.
You need a woman.
And I was
around, bro.
I was like, holy fuck! I didn't know you could do this with clothes. Like everything. So now I'm ready to make more money and support.
It frees up part of you.
I gotta hustle. Yeah. I can kill the game now. Like that's all I needed from before, because I was like, I don't have any organization skills. I tried to teach it. Like, I just don't have it. So if she can help me with that, I could bring the dough to the table. I could go ahead.
That's what I love, bro. It's a team.
I could pick up a side job, pick up a cash job. You know what I mean? And she could do that shit. That's just as valuable as me going picking up a cash job, because you know how much time I can spend doing it. And I'm just a fucking mess.
Time is money, bro.
You know what I mean? 100%. So we like help each other like that, and
that's gangster.
She's just like the girl version of me.
Yeah, so, I fuck with that. That's like a Drake lyric.
Yeah, so we just like kill the game together, you know.
I love that shit. What we're about an hour in, bro. What plans you got? Hoping. Let's talk about like some motivation shit. Like, who do you look at? Like for me, I try to do my thing, you know, but there's people that I look at where I'm like, all right, they're dope. Like, kind of look at Nelk, like they're a dope example. Do you have any examples you like to look at where like, all right, I fuck with what they're doing?
Well, I see some people like in my personal life, like the owner of the company I work for, like I own like a small percentage of the company because I was gonna leave and start my own company. And I went up to him and I said, hey, like, I respect, like, everything you guys do, but, like, I don't want to work my whole life and not have anything to, like, my name. Right. So I'm like, either I partner with you guys or to be honest, and start my own company. And then I guess it kind of worked out okay, because there was another guy before in the company who was getting a lot of work and doing good. And he told him he was leaving to go into IT. But he lied. And he went and started a company and backstabbed them. So I guess it kind of worked out that I was honest with them, and they were like, "Hey, I don't want the same thing happening as last time." So I offered that, and then I actually look up to these guys because it's like the first place I went where like everybody like that's older is like pretty successful. Right. There's like the main owner, like a vice president partner owns a lot, and then like a small partner, and they're all like happy people, have families, do their thing, go on vacations. There's like successful, so just being around those people, and they talk, and they don't talk like how like, not necessarily your parents, but all the parents I have like grown up in generation, they're like, oh, money's bad, this is evil, don't talk about investing. Like when I was growing up, I was like don't talk about it safe. These guys, like I see it with his like kids. He's like, hey, are you investing? Are you doing this? Did you look at this? And he's like prepping them. Yeah. And I was like, I used to think those things were wrong the way I thought, but that's actually like what they're doing. They're like, hey, what are you doing with your property? Are you renting it out? I hear them saying shit like that. And I'm like, this is the right shit. What they're supposed to say. They're looking for like next investment things, and they're making money. They're having fun. They're working with their family. When people are saying, oh, you can't work with your family. They're proving all this shit wrong. Yeah, and I'm like looking at that shit. I'm like, this is the way I want shit to be. Facts, bro. You start to see like, oh man, there's really different ways to do things. Yeah, so I see those guys, and then I see like in the tile business, like the guys who actually take it seriously and hustle. Like there's like a couple guys, they like driving around in Audi R8s, have multiple houses, doing house flipping. Because what they did was they took on guys and employed people and kept them busy. Right. So you gotta take the responsibility of like actually keeping guys going and things. And I actually see like you don't have to be like somebody crazy like Elon Musk. There's a lot of regular people just doing their shit.
Everyone is, bro.
Properly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like regular people.
I love
like
that.
killing it and shit. So like you just being around those people, or I see like one real guy that we do like Canadian tires for and shit like that. Like I saw him and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, can you help me out?" Because I post like Instagram stuff on like jobs I do. Yeah. So he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing my parents' home." Yeah. He was like, I was gonna message somebody on like custom home stuff. Yeah. He's like, "I know you." He's like, "I didn't know you did home shit. Let's do it." I go to his house. He has a nice house on Mississauga Road. Even him. So I see what they're doing. So like, these are just regular people, but they're killing it.
Exactly, bro.
He's building a house. So I thought this guy, he became a partner with this small construction company, and like he's a small partner, and he's building a custom house on Mississauga Road. His uncle passed away and gave up the land, so he took over the land. Right. Built a house. He's building it for his parents, so he's obviously, I don't know the whole scope, but obviously he must have told his parents like, "Hey, I'm gonna build this for you guys. Get involved," and they got involved and funded him. So. Like some parents actually listened to the kid and fund their like home. Right. He like tore the house down, built a new house up for them, and he's building it all custom. Like I came and helped him, and from all the plumbers he met, carpenters, flooring guys like me, different things, he all got them from sites to come help him build the house. On the side, he's still working his full-time job, building this sick-ass custom house on the side. You know, he's making more money on the side than he is in his day job. And I said, like, "Hey, what are you doing for this?" And he's like, "Hey, I want a custom shower that just rolls in," because he's like, "What if my parents can't walk one day? I just wanted to be ready for them."
Right. Because you can do that.
And and I'm like, fuck. And this guy is 29.
Yeah. No, I love that, bro. There's some real people.
This guy's 29. And he's fucking like a partner of some like decent sized construction company. Going in, doing this thing, all while he's still working. People do it while they're still working, have things going on. I see, like, the owner of my company, like, his sons, like, one son that has, like, an Amazon business going while he's working in the business and has sites, and he has an Airbnb property, so
there's real life examples of doing shit.
You don't have to be like the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos. There's other people doing it too. Like he has 3. So let's say he only made 60 grand, 70 grand, 50 grand. That's still
there, bro. Every little bit helps.
Everywhere, like the more you get out there and see an entrepreneur, the more I'm seeing it. Like this other company, I'm seeing like the dad. He's like going off, and the son's coming in now. He's like my age, and he's like starting to like run the company and shit. And I'm like, see, and that's another thing. And his sister is the accountant. Right. And I'm seeing his family, and I'm like, you can do it together with family and shit like that. Like, just as much as I look up to like all like the big shots we see in the thing, there's a lot of people like that are really like aspiring.
I look up to them more, bro. The billionaires, you know why I don't really fuck with them? I can't relate to them. They're a little.
But these guys, I see them like this guy did it. I could do it.
Exactly, bro.
There's this guy in the Hamilton that we know, and he's doing it. And if you see this guy, you would think he's just like a Hamilton kind of guy, right? But he has 5 rental properties. He has a side business. He's like doing this, and then once you start talking to him, I'm like, I thought this guy was an idiot.
Facts. You don't judge a book by the cover, bro.
This guy looks. If you saw him off the street, you would never know him. But this guy's making $1 million a year.
Never judge a book by its cover.
And he doesn't have to be like, again, like an Elon Musk or a Nelk Boy or something. No. This guy's making $1 million a year. He's a nobody.
Oh, yo, that's like.
And they opened up my head to
possibilities.
When I grew up, like I used to hear like, oh, you do this degree, you go hard, and you'll make $100 grand a year with it. That's not the truth. That's bullshit. You could make way more than $100 grand a year doing different things.
Exactly. You put yourself out there.
You gotta look around, go and think. You could drive up the numbers. Yeah. It's not impossible to make more. It's just impossible if you stick to that thing. But you gotta get out there, hear what these guys say, and if you're hustling and they see you're a hard worker, the people want to help you. Yes. They'll teach you for free,
bro. Because you're putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. They're like, okay.
Even me this year, like I wanted to find out more, and like I read a book, and it was like hire a good accountant. You pay a little bit more money, but they teach you things. So I paid more money the last 2 years and hired this accountant, but it hasn't taught me shit so far. And like I'm like, can I do this? They're like, no, you gotta pay your tax. Nope, you gotta do this. And I don't know if it's because Corona. I've never met them. It's always through the phone and shit.
Interesting.
So I went to this guy in Hamilton. I'm like, hey, I'm paying like $2,500 a year for this accountant. I'm not really saving anything. I'm not learning anything. That. And he's like, no, fuck that. You got to do this. Yeah. He starts writing on the board this. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, you think this guy, like, he has no education. He has no schooling, but he just knows how to hustle and make money. And he taught me more stuff in 10 minutes that was like more valuable than doing like 6 months of school. Yeah. He's like, do this. You could do this. He's like, oh, if you have a rental property, you could say you go once a month to check on it and cut the grass or do this. You could write off your day, $400 in your meal and your gas to go. So it's not a lot, but it's still $400 a month. At the end of the year, it adds up to $5,000. So if it shows you made $5,000 income on your property, you say I went once a month to cut the grass. I had to pay my gas to go. Wipe it off. Now you get money back.
There we go.
And for me, I was paying money on the rental property.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. I have the rental property, but I have to give $3,500 to the government out of my money. I said, why are you doing that? You got to do this. But even my accountant didn't tell you. But this guy looks like an idiot.
Yeah, but meanwhile, he knows the angle.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know.
There's other shit to try. There's a lot of shit to try. You don't have to. You just got to meet some right people.
And you got to be open-minded.
And I see there's a lot of people who make money that like you don't hear of on the news and shit. Like, the owner of like my company, like I looked up like, for example, like Nick Cannon and his net worth, and I swear the owner of my company makes just as much, if not more than him. But you don't know about him.
No, I don't.
You just gotta meet these guys and go. And this guy stays low key. You wouldn't know him off the street.
Bro. That's the way you gotta do
it. And I was like, holy fuck! Like I'm around the right people.
Yes.
I just need to soak it up.
Exactly.
You know what I dig it in. Like there's a lot of people out there like doing it and hustling. Now, like
a lot of people, man,
and they were old school. The way they did shit, like now, I'm telling you, we're like in the best time to be alive.
Because you can take what they do and
spice do it 10 times faster.
Exactly, man. But do the updated version?
Yeah,
exactly. Evolution.
And if you work hard and you show like initiative, they want to help you.
Yeah, facts.
If you look like a doink and shit, they won't help you.
Biggest fact.
But if you go hard, people want to help you.
Mistakes or not, make whatever.
Even like this one guy I hired, that's my main foreman now, we work together. When I first got him on, I wasn't unsure about him, and me and him had like a riff at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is this taking so long? He's like, and I was new. He's like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're just a fucking punk. And I was like, oh, you need to go faster. He's like, I've been in the business 30 years. You know what the fuck you're doing? And he quit on me. He's like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Okay. And he quit. And then I was doing a big building when I first started. And I was like, shit, I don't know what to do now. And then luckily we mended, like a month later. We came back to agreement. He came back. And he ended up being like one of the best relationships I've made so far in my industry. And luckily it worked out. And now I found out this guy's not just a flooring guy. He does like, he can build a house. He can do, so he comes, helps me with like house shit. And just because of like keeping him busy and like with a job and all that shit, now he like looks at me like he owes me something. But all I did was just try to keep him busy, and we go and we do rentals together, and now we actually made a relationship. So now when he needs help at his house, I go help him. He needs to build a shed, we go help. But also I'm helping him build a shed for free, but what am I doing?
You're networking, you're fucking...
And I'm learning how to build a shed.
Yeah.
Who's going to teach me how to build a shed?
Yeah.
Nobody. Now I know how to build a shed.
Yeah. For free, really.
He comes, shows me how to attach a TV to the wall and hide the cord
now
so it
you
doesn't
can go
hang
do it on your own.
Now that shit, and not a lot of people like our generation can do that shit anymore. So if I can learn that shit, there's a lot of value too.
Bro. That's a big fact.
So, and that shit came out of like, I would have never expected. Just building relationships.
Just learn random shit, you never know.
Just building relationships.
Facts, bro.
Building relationships is just as valuable as making money.
Bro, I think it's more.
Build some strong relationships,
I think it's more.
And it's also nice to see people grow. Now I see this guy, he's happy, whatever I can help him out with, getting tools. He's the head honcho where he runs the guys, so he feels proud. I feel proud of him, and like, and also, it's good working with people like that now too, because it's not just like a coworker. We're like personal. So like, I call him up and I trust him. I'm like, hey, what's going on this site?
You earn some stripes together.
I need this. Like, we respect each other, and I want to see him grow to the best he can see, and I know he wants to see me. Because he was like, oh, I've met a lot of people your age, but I've never met somebody with your hustle or whatever. He's like, I want to see, he's like, in 10 years, I want to see what you, and it's nice to you have people like that, you know what I mean? So it's like just building those relationships. It's just as fun experience as making money and shit.
So super valuable, man. Alright, bro. You have any last minute shout outs you wanna?
Shout out to everybody. Hopefully next Joe Rogan on this podcast.
Yo, you got the open door policy, bro. Yo, I wanted Mary to come in because we have these types of conversations all the time. All the time, yeah. Just never fucking recorded, and I think it has like some value, you know.
Get it? All the young generation shit right now. We're in a good time, man. Let's get this shit.
Bro, I wouldn't be able to do this in 1975, bro. Saying? Now I can do
whatever
this
you
shit.
Want to do, you could do right now.
Exactly,
just do it.
Bro.
And if you believe in it,
you never know. Do it. You never know.
Don't listen to anybody else. Stick to what your gut says, your head says. Don't listen. If it's what you want to do, do it.
Trust your vision, bro. Never panic. Like.
Oh, I guess another good thing is if you want to do something bad, first do it, then talk about it.
Facts.
Don't tell your mom. Don't tell your dad. Don't tell your friend.
Just do it.
Don't let them influence you.
Apologize after it's done.
Yeah.
That's the Italian guilt first, shit, bro.
Apologize later.
I'll deal with the guilt.
Yeah.
You know, everything.
Don't let people influence you if it means a lot to you.
Just facts, bro. Shit. Just fucking do it, and that's that.
Got it.
My guy. Versatile vigilante, man. A lot of shit coming you don't even know. Gang, gang.